Hey, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Second day of the month. Was off yesterday. Had a pretty good day. Like I said, my days off were seemed pretty filled, um, but blessed. I was able to um, go and meet with Jed on the John Maxwell book. Started in reading chapter 2 last night. Um, we went over the basics of chapter 1. Pretty cool stuff. Trying to get started now on some personal growth. Like I said before, I'm committing to reading 3 books a month, whether that's listening to them um, or actually reading them. I'll probably do, like I said, a mixture of both. Uh, Still on that codependence no more. Got a couple hours listening left. Try to listen to a chapter a day, and then between the other 2 books, I read whenever I can. It's been a pretty busy time for me, trying to work 2 jobs and uh, you know uh, get all this stuff in. But it's good. It's not just busy work. It's stuff that's going to help me in the future, and it's something that I'd committed to a long time ago. Talking about losing yourself in things and people, and I've always committed to be a lifelong learner. I like to learn new things, um, whether it be in my profession, whether it be in my spirituality, those type of things. I used to read at least a book a month, but then when life struggles, I stopped doing the things that are beneficial to me, and I get caught up in the moment. Um, Found myself yesterday in CR doing, getting tired in my mind, kind of wondering and things like that. That's why it's an endurance race, not a sprint. So you got to keep on doing it, and you got to have the discipline, and something that I have not had in the past. When things start getting tough, I start finding excuses not to continue the things that I'm doing, and so one of the principles you got to do is, hey, when you doesn't feel like doing it, do it anyway. And that's been a tough thing. Also, today is a big day for a friend of mine and his daughter in court. I hope everything goes well for them. This directly affects me as well. Not directly, but at the same time, it also helps me with some closure, getting some of this stuff behind me, so I can move on with my life. Um, I'm really struggling with anger and resentments toward everything. And last night I was telling, God, hey, I've got to let this go. I've got to let this go. I've got to let this go. What's happened, and I look back, and what God has in store for me was a whole lot better than what was there, and the life I was living was not going to get. I was not going to get out of that, and so there had to be something drastic. Like I've said before, with me, things have to work in a drastic measure. But I believe it was God just calling me back, saying, "Hey, you're my son. You are, this is not the life I had intended for you, and so now you need to get out of your comfort zone. Stop putting somebody before me, and move forward. And I'm going to break you so that you will know that I love you." And I'm not saying God intentionally breaks people, but what I'm saying is He allows me to make my choices that break me, so that my spirit can arise again, is what I believe. So that's where I'm at right now. Um, See, I do want to talk a little bit about something that was kind of brought up yesterday in a conversation that um, I think is important, um, in a way to recovery, but also just in society in general. Sometimes you'll hear me kind of go off on rants on things like that, but the objectification of women. I've been sitting here beating myself up about, or getting upset about, like, how Bonnie and Pam were in our relationship and those type of things like that. But I saw them as objects. I didn't see them as people. They were there for my sexual gratification, to help me with my desires, and for my to do my laundry, to do those type of things like that. I'm not saying that that I was a complete butt all the time, and that, hey, you have sex with me, or hey, you do this for me, you do that. But I don't think I really know how to treat women, and I think there's societal reasons for that, that I have bought into, and the fact that with pornography being so readily available, with all the stuff that's on TV, and how women dress, and all that type of stuff, that we as a society have made them, and men too, as objects. And so there's no real attachment to people in general. So relationships that are built upon superficial things, like looks and sex, and those type of things, that they're doomed for failure. No wonder we have such a high divorce rate and a lack of commitment. Not only are we getting our children or being raised without a parent at home, raised by strangers who can't give the love and affection. The family nucleus has broken down. People are both working. Those type of things don't allow kids to develop, the great part of their brain that attaches. So that, on top of seeing these women as objects, no wonder, that we fail so much in relationships. Give my personal things, all my relationships have been built off sex, period. That outward gratification, the same as a drug. And so then I try to go and make a relationship out of it, because I don't know the person. All I know is that they can have good sex, basically. And they seem fun. And then I try to build a relationship with these people. They try to build a relationship with me, because it goes both ways. And then at the end of the day, you find out your values are different. You really have nothing in common besides the fun things. When it comes to matters of the heart, and spirituality, and where you see yourself going, and those type of things, because you don't think about something. I mean, look, I married Bonnie after 3 weeks of dating, going to jail with her on a stupid decision, and then I'm like, well, why did this marriage fail? I tried all this type of stuff. It was doomed from the beginning. And so, like I said, I'm taking a break from relationships. I want to know myself. I'm setting my standards straight when it comes to that, because I can't afford it anymore. But I also have to look within myself and see, women are not objects. They're people. And they're not just there for my desire. They are there for a mate. A helpmate is what God says. Somebody who is to help. And as a Christian man, I have to stop doing what society does and objectifying women. I need to look at them as an equal part. Like I said, a helpmate. But to do that, I have to stop looking at women objectively. Objectifying like they're an object. Stop staring at women and, ooh, look at all that type of stuff. I've got to discipline myself to look at the heart and not the outward appearance. Anyway, guys, that's kind of my soapbox, but I think that also happens to go to recovery, because you need to start looking at people's inner souls, and you need to help them when there's nothing that you can get out of it. I felt like I was helping these women get out of situations they were in, but I got sex out of it at the end of the day, and a companion to talk to about real superficial things. But it was somebody that was there. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great week, and we will talk to you tomorrow or the next day. It just depends on how busy I get. Supposed to see my puppy on Saturday, so working hard to get the rest of the money for that. God bless.